Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just all things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I was just getting ready to vlog and wrap up shop for the day, and I thought, you know what, I think I have it in me to film one more video before I vlog. It is such a beautiful day in Indianapolis. It's like 60 degrees outside, and the leaves are falling, the leaves are turning colors, like red and gold. They're just absolutely beautiful. I just did a video showing my neighbor's garden because she's starting to pull stuff up for the winter that she stores inside. And I've just been sitting out here enjoying my day. I had a dental appointment this morning, and then I came home. And I was actually going to take the day off and not film any videos. And I thought, you know what? Just film some videos. So I've had a great day today. It's been really fun. And my dental appointment went really well. So I thought that I would break out the two Melody Beatty books, and we would get into them. So today is the 23rd. I believe it's the 23rd. Let's get in here and see what The Language of Letting Go, the sister book to Codependent No More by Melody Beatty, has to say to us. October 20th. I can't believe that we are almost at the end of this book. Can you believe this? It's almost the end of the year. October 23rd. Morning cues. Oh, this might be a good one. There is an important message for us first thing every day. Often, once we get started with the day, we may not listen as closely to ourselves and life as we do in those still moments when we first awaken. An ideal time to listen to ourselves is when we are laying quietly, our defenses are down, and we're open and most vulnerable. What is the first feeling that fled through us? The feeling that perhaps we are trying to avoid during the business of the day? Are we angry, frustrated, hurt, or confused? That is what we need to focus on and work through. That's the issue we need to address. When you awaken, what is the first idea or thought that enters your mind? Do you need to finish a timely project? Are you in need of a fun day? Yes, every day. A restful day? Yes, every day. Do you feel sick and need to nurture yourself? Are you in a negative frame of mind? Do you have an issue to resolve with someone? Do you need to tell someone something? Is something bothering you? Is something feeling particularly good? Does an idea occur to you, something you could get or do that would feel good? When you awaken, what is the first issue that presents itself? You don't have to be fearful. You don't have to rush. You can lay still and listen, and then accept the message. We can define some of our recovery goals for the day by listening to the morning message. God, help me let go of my need to be in resistance to the harmonic flow of life. Help me learn to go with the flow and accept the help and support that you have to offer me. Really great meditation. It's interesting because I've shared this on, I feel like I'm sunk down so low into this chair. I feel like with my fall Halloween wreath up there, I feel like I've shared this in so many videos now, but it was really a lesson that I learned late in life. I just learned it a couple years ago, in therapy. And that was that when I start my day, I do not immediately get on my phone. Now, I will tell you, some days are better than others. Some days I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, has this person, I'm worried and whatever. But most days, let me pull this down a little bit. Most days I'm pretty good at this. And this is something that my therapist recommended to me years ago. And he said, at that time I felt very ate up with social media. I felt like my life was kind of consumed with looking at Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And, constantly if something popped off, I was jumping on film to make a video and things like that. Now, I don't really feel that way. If something would happen at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, well, my husband's out of town right now, so if something happened tonight, I probably would sit down and film a video. But when he's home and we're enjoying watching shows and stuff, back in the day, I would pull out the ring light and film immediately. I don't do that anymore. When I wake up in the morning, because I feel like it can always wait till tomorrow. It's not something that needs to be immediately made, right? When I wake up in the morning, one of the things I've learned is to not be cyber attached as soon as I get up in the morning. And I feel like we become a society that is kind of prone to doing that. Like we sleep with our cell phones right by our bed or in our bed, we're holding on to them sometimes. The last thing we do before we go to sleep, like my husband, he doesn't seem to have a problem with this, but the last thing that he does is play his township game or look through TikTok or Instagram, right? And the first thing he does in the morning is pick up his phone. He's scrolling through Instagram and things like that, and he likes to play his township game. That's how he relaxes in the morning and at night, and it's fun. For me, I have to be disconnected a little bit from the cyber world. That is what helps me a lot. And so I do not pick up my phone right away. I mean, I pick it up to go downstairs, but I put it in the kitchen, and I take Boo Radley out, and I also find myself a little bit more present. Like, not a lot has entered my mind. So I'm going to go through my process and then kind of explain what this meditation was talking about a little bit. So I take Boo Radley outside, and I walk, very closely with him and just enjoy that moment with being with Boo Radley. I heard today or I saw online that the world's oldest dog that was 31 passed away, which made me so sad. Alex and I were texting about it, and Alex was like, because he knew how upset I was about it. He was like, I'm sure he had a great life. I'm like, I'm sure he did, but I try to enjoy each and every moment with Boo Radley, especially while he's running around and smelling stuff outside. And I've kind of tried to learn to appreciate the world through Boo Radley's senses of smell, and just even when he gets like a leaf on his nose stuck, and he's just so cute and sweet. Like, and the things that he notices about the world, like a smell that might come by, or the wind blowing or whatever, or the sunlight shining a certain way, and kind of like wince his eyes and whatever, are things that I think as human beings we often take for granted. Whereas I think dogs and cats and other animals very much live in the present, right? They don't really have a whole lot else. And so, I don't think dogs are sitting there plotting out their futures and worrying about the past. I think they just kind of live in today. So that's one of the things that helps me. And then once I come inside, I give him his treats and get him settled. And then I make a cup of coffee or drink some water. I've been trying to drink water in the morning, or like these hydrating drinks, to kind of like feel refreshed for the day. And then I sit down and I do my prayers, and I do my meditations, and I do a gratitude list, and then I kind of just sit with the universe for a little bit, And this meditation that's talking about asking yourself these questions, these are not specifically those questions, but these are the kind of questions I ask myself before I finally ask myself, like I've gone through everything, and I say, okay, are you ready to start your day? And what that means is, are you ready to pick up your phone? Are you ready to present yourself to the world? Are you ready to interact with other human beings? Because there are some days that I don't have any business being around other people. Do you ever feel like that? Like every interaction, whether it's going to the store, going to the gas station, me being on video, talking on the phone, whatever, it's like every interaction is like I'm like very edgy. Those are days I have no business being around people. And there are some days that I have no business being around people, or that I have to start my day over. I'm a big believer in starting your day over. You can start your day over whenever you want. It's something I learned in early recovery, that you can just sit and pause and go, okay, this day is not going the way that I had planned. I'm not going to ruin the rest of the day. I've exchanged a day of my life for this, so I'm going to go back, I'm going to reset the clock, and I'm going to start my day over, and I'm going to look at this day in a completely different way. These questions I think are good that she asks in here about, what things are bothering me, what things do I want to say to people. It's basically like a morning inventory is what it is, and you can make up your own list of morning inventories, One of the things I check in with in the mornings is that many things that I'm worried about, troubled in my life, I'll talk to my sponsor, or if I don't know what to do with the situation, I'll talk to my sponsor, and one of the things that she's often said to me is pray on it and see what comes to you. I am not a believer that prayer without action, it's like the idea that prayer without action works. It's like the idea that faith without works is dead, is what the saying is. And I love that saying, because I believe that there has to be action behind your intention. There has to be action behind your prayer, your affirmation, and your positive thoughts, right? And so I'll pray on something, but I do believe that my higher power speaks to me in ways. And sometimes I'll wake up, like when I've prayed on something, and I immediately just have like a feeling about this thing that was so troubling me like the day before, or the week before, that I just really didn't know what decision to make. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, wow, it's very crystal clear to me. And whether that's just a gut feeling or whether that's whatever, like it feels better to me to go forward with that. One of the things I've learned about being responsive versus reactionary is that when I come from a calm state of mind and I balance myself out in the morning, and I check in with myself all throughout the day, when I start getting a little frazzled, it's easy for me because I'm laughing kind of because I do this 10-step inventory every night. And my friend Tanya laughs at me because she's like the questions are like about other people and interactions with other people and things like that. She's like, yeah, it's not hard to get 100% when the only person you interact with all day long is Boo Radley. But there's some truth to that, one of the things I notice by being by myself all day long and being here until Alex comes home at night, or unless I just go with Caroline during the day, is that I notice that people really drain my energy in a way that I don't really know that I knew before. Like, it kind of goes along with having social anxiety. That when I'm around a lot of people or interacting with a lot of people, it kind of like drains my energy a lot, you know? But the other thing I've noticed is that things that would set me off, like I have a low tolerance, but I don't react to it anymore, to people's nastiness. Like, I can be talking to somebody on the phone. I was actually talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and they were going on and they were saying some things, and I didn't necessarily like the tone of how they were speaking to me. And it's somebody that I don't speak to very often, you know? And I was like, and I could tell that they were troubled, that they were upset. But then it became kind of like a finger pointing thing, kind of a little bit, like, and I said, okay, well, there's no truth in what you're saying, number one. Number two, I don't allow people to speak to me that way in my life today. And they were just like silent on the other end of the phone. And I wasn't speaking back to you. I said, you said some things that I just kind of let float by and go away, but I just want you to know today in my life, I don't let people speak that way to me. So I sat on it and then I responded to it. 5-10 years ago, I would have just reacted and been like, listen here, you, blah, 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 whatever. The conversation turned around and ended up being just a wonderful conversation, you know? And that's part of my standing up for myself era, but that's also part of me responding, not being reactionary. When I'm calmer, I'm able to do those things, you know? But when I'm alone all day long and I don't interact with a lot of people, I do notice, like, I have, like, a lower tolerance for how people speak to one another. Like, I notice it, you know, a lot. And I'm just kind of like, well, this is interesting to me, you know? Like, I don't interact with that. I mean, I might talk to my friend Tanya or Alex or Melissa or, you know, whatever in a day, but I don't, or my sponsor or whatever, but it's not like I'm interacting with tons of people. And, so when I talk to people that I haven't talked to in a while, it's kind of like sometimes interesting to me how their speech is abrasive, or the things that they say are kind of hurtful sometimes, and they don't even realize it, right? Because I'm not around that many people anymore, that I'm very aware of how we speak to others and how they take it. I'm not always the best at it. Like, I'm still, you know, a lesson in practice, or, you know, still lesson in progress and learning and things like that, but I notice it more, and I think awareness is the first step to you know, the first key to getting better. And I notice it more, and I notice that I don't want to be that person. So I think it is important when you wake up in the morning to ask yourself these questions, like, who do I want to be today? How do I want to present to the world? What do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to get done, you know? You know, I set my bar very low this morning with, I'm not going to make any videos at all. And now this is the 4th video, and I'll film a vlog. That'll be 5 videos I make today. I feel like I've been pretty productive. You know, I've already gone to the dentist. I've cleaned out part of the house. Like, I got the house straightened up. Took Boo Radley out several times. Got him some treats and some dinner. You know, I feel like I've been pretty productive today. And that's good, you know. There were days in my past where I literally could not get out of the bed. So for me, today is a really good day, and I have to appreciate those days as well, you know? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.